Good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us. So you live and work around the Sunshine Coast area in Queensland. We'll get to the laws shortly, but tell us, in your opinion, how dangerous these bikes are and what are you seeing at work?
Well, Janie, what started as a fairly harmless concept, which you've just touched on, was the introduction of e-scooters that had a 100-watt motor that travelled at about 12 kilometres an hour, and they could be highly managed. And then over the years, that's gradually progressed towards to e-bikes, bigger motors, faster. So, they're kind of now gone from doing speeds from 12 kilometres an hour through to 30, 40, 50 kilometres an hour. In fact, 40 kilometres an hour is about the norm. And it's just causing absolute carnage. Where I'm from on the Sunshine Coast, and currently at home at the moment, go down the beaches or the esplanades, you've got 14, 15-year-old kids just with their bathers on, bare skin, strap undone on the helmet. Most of the times I can track them doing about 30 kilometres an hour. And you only need all the holes in the cheese to line up. Add road, add cars, add inexperience, and we've just got total carnage. Fractured skulls, upper body fractures, and of course death. We've had 4 deaths in the last couple of months in Queensland. We've had 15 at the start of this year. It's just insanity. And as a paramedic going to these things, I sit back and I think to myself, how did we let this cat up the bag? How did people assemble around the table, like the federal government level, and say any part of this was okay? It's just crazy. Suicide on wheels, I call it.
And from a paramedic's point of view, Paul, what laws would you like to see implemented across the country?
Well, look, I think it's a no-brainer, and people are going to hate me for saying this, for the people that are responsible, but we just need a total ban. We just need to go back to the pushbike, which we've been doing for the last 200 years. Just take them out of the system. The government started it. They need to do a national buyback, buy them all back, get rid of them, maybe introduce e-bike licences, because at the end of the day, they are motorbikes. But maybe at 18, introduce an e-bike licence, and by that time, people want cars anyway. Most people aren't interested in their e-bikes. So I just think an unequivocal ban. Take them out. We've just got to stop the carnage. And they've introduced police fines now. I've got more police, and we're monitoring them, and they're fining kids $500 and $1,000. I mean, that's just going to put a little scratch in the surface. And they're the people that are not getting fined. You gave them the bike. You gave them the motor. Now you're going to fine them $500 for doing something wrong. I'd be sending the fines back to the federal government. It's just crazy. So an absolute 100% total ban.
Have you spoken to anyone in government? Have you got any reaction about that potential outright ban?
Yeah, look, we're starting even at a private level, and just some small organisations just trying to start the campaign on that thing. Look, and there's lots of news on this now, so it's all starting to come out. But it's going to take a lot of lobbying, and like as I say, it's a big machine now. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of these things. So somebody very brave needs to stand up in the federal government and state government and say, sorry, we have got this totally wrong. For the protection of our teenagers and youth, especially 13 to 18 years of age, we have to change this. We have to stop it. So, and of course, parents need to think about it too. Like, if they've wheeled an e-bike into their garage or into their home, it's probably not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Just again, all the holes in the cheese have to line up. If you're on a country property and you've got a farm, you've got a little motorbike, you can ride around, but not out onto the road. I mean, I tracked a fella the other day. I live off on a country road, and I could see in the dark, it was about 11 o'clock at night, and I was pursuing this guy. I could see this little flash ahead of me. Turns out it was an e-bike in front of me. He looked about 16, doing 80 kilometres an hour on a black road. Saw a car gradually coming up behind him, swerved to get off the road. Again, I just think, do your parents know? Do the parents understand what they've released here? Is it naivety? Is it stupidity? Don't know.
And we've got to go, but Paul, in terms of what you've seen as a paramedic. Just describe to us how many years you've been working and where this sort of falls in your list of seriousness.
Well, I've been in the business for 25 years, and it always comes up on our machines or our computers to say, pedestrian versus car or a multiple vehicle accident or something like that. But now they're coming up as e-bike versus pedestrians, and they're coming up as multiple injuries and again fractured skulls. You've got to remember, when you come off an e-bike, the momentum is that you'll generally fall down and you'll come down on your shoulder or your upper body. That's why we're seeing fractured shoulders and fractured arms. Then you've got this thing on your shoulders called a head, which is like a bowling ball. So as soon as your shoulders hit it, your head slams down. So we're seeing something like twice the levels of head injury on e-bikes as we do to bicycles, about twice the level of fatalities. Janie, it is crazy. For all the parents and anybody watching, just be super careful here. I'd get the e-bike out of the garage and I'd take a stand and I'd say, sorry, kids. And just quickly, schools and councils and anybody that's got controls outside the federal government to ban them, good on you. But now it's the parents and whoever can come next we can't wait for policy. That could take another 12 months. That could take another 2 years. In fact, it mightn't even happen at all because the cat's already out the bag. So we have to take ownership of this and make the change we can.
All right, Paul, really appreciate you joining us. And frightening statistics there. Take care, and we'll talk to you again very soon.